Hello again, Ant-Man Twin Enable. Bringing you this video of the tracker camp at the Bushlore.com. I'm just doing a tracker course for the weekend, the basic course. Just come back down here onto the track. Here's a little classroom setup. Tracker camp. One of the instructors sitting there. And the board. Learning a few things today. And here's the basic kitchen area here. Got the open fire. Got some water there, pots and pans. And in case you're feeling enthusiastic, doing a few chin-ups as well. Here's one of the shelters. It was made on the basic survival course a while ago. Bit of a look around the bush area here. I'll just walk you up here a little bit. Another shelter across there. Part of one back in the bush there as well. Come around here. Just see the tracker camp in the background there. A couple of skins here drying. These apparently were from the survival course. Survival guys were getting animal, skinning, that type of thing. That's what Rich was saying they had it set up for. So looking around here. And then looking back down over the camp again. And here's another survival type hut. Oh, the sun shining in there. This was built probably, I'm not sure, last year. Pretty good inside. That's where the fire pit was, and just reflecting some of the heat back into there. Quite elaborate, this one. Oh, someone's left a sleeping roll inside by the look of it. See inside there, it's got grass on the bedding, grass up on the roof. All thatched in pretty well. This is reasonably high, so haven't got full standing room, but you've got plenty of head height. The section in the front here is probably store your gear or something like that. Yeah, pretty good. Just along here we set up a track trap, meaning that we just swept the dirt clear of any tracks. It's now late afternoon, it'll be getting dark soon, and the idea is that in the morning we'll come down and have a look, see what animals have passed this way. Why they've passed this way is there's a fence just through there. This is a gate here, and there's the fence moving back that way. So it tends to funnel the animals along here, coming from that direction, and down along that track through there is where the water hole is. So it does attract quite a few animals. Come back towards the water hole, then they might move back up through the bush up that way. Tends to restrict them from the fence, which is just along the side here. So they'll possibly come back this way through this gate area here, constricting area, and then move on further up in the bush there if they want something to eat or they're resting or something like that. So one of the things we talked about today was developing a track trap, just to be able to see what animals or what's moved around during the night, and get some distinctive tracks. We can then do some measurements and some sketching of the footprints and keep a record of what's in the area. And here I am, I'm just setting up for the night. Had a pretty big day doing all the tracking stuff. I've got the heavy bag underneath there, the American Gore-Tex one, and the sleeping bag inside. I just bought this hoochie recently. It's in the camo pattern, the multicam pattern. And there's my trusty Spec Ops bag off the side there. Loaded up with some gear. Got some lunch and meals and that sort of thing. First aid kit. I think I showed that in the previous video. Here we are. Laid out pretty well. Just got tied up to the tree there. And a peg there, put up to the tree there, so it gives me a little bit of view so I can look out. And then peg down at the back there. I think the multicam one works better than the original one I had. Doesn't seem to be quite so shiny. And we just get a bit of a long distance view of it. Does seem to blend in. Oh, that's the toilet in the background there for the training area. Does seem to blend in fairly well with the background, so I'm quite happy with the new multicam Witchy. Yeah, just thought I should mention too, this Witchy. It's actually a little bit longer than the standard army Witchy that I've got at home. But these button clips, the button snaps, line up the same on the Witchy. On the standard army Witchy, just start from the middle. Just the middle here. And line up the ones toward the end. Just means at the end here doesn't quite line up. The multicam ones are a little bit longer. So width wise they're more or less the same in width, so they've given you a bit extra length, which is quite alright too. So seems quite good here. See on the back they got a little bit of reinforcing in the corners. These tabs are stitched right through, double stitched across there. Yeah, it's quite a good, looks like it's quite a well made Witchy. Tabs here, it's got an extra bit of lining on the tab there, you can see. So it should last quite a while too. New multicam Witchy Australia. So here's a track trap from last night. Yep. And we can see some prints here. So what are these ones be?
Probably a cane toad. That's the wallaby there.
The wallaby track just there.
Clear ones.
There's a wallaby print just there.
Feet. Front feet again. Tail. So just stop and look at the detail on that. You know, you'll see texture as in fingerprints. And you can see he's gone all the way through there. So that's probably the same individual we picked that back there. So you've got to change the behaviour. So just bound, stopped, had a nibble on this stuff, bound, and then back into hunting along here. It might be this nice soft vegetation. I can't see any gnaw marks or something like that. Something's attracted attention here and he's sort of looked up in there again. Get the front hands, tail, and he's gone around that way. So he's sort of walking around here looking at this stuff. Probably trying to find something delicious. Had a really good look around here. Let's see if we can see any sort of gnaw marks. There's a bit of old stuff. There's some fresh stuff.
Oh, yeah. Just cut across.
Yeah. So all this type of incision stuff across that's chewing. So obviously going just with the tips, young tips of vegetation. So he's only maybe a 6-month-old joey. And he's coming from over here, mum, with 2 tails. Over here. See little fat feet. So that's a redneck wallaby, and now you've got another species of wallaby in the same area here. So this little fat fella here, little fat feet, and you see the stride distance is shorter. So this isn't a baby, this is a swamp wallaby, different species, and then fatter tail. So in this little area, we've had 2 different species of wallabies come down. One with young. So even in here, you're getting partial bits and pieces of a story. That'd be another good area there. Yeah, it looks very clean. And even if you got nothing there, that's still information, isn't it? Yeah. So if we're tracking the person, so there's been something up there, probably towed again or something. You start to get that concept of what we call negative information is still useful in terms of there's nothing, you can pretend nothing really significant has happened to you. So even in here, you're getting partial bits and pieces of a story. Another thing I think over there, yeah, it's fairly clean. And even if you've got nothing there, that's still information, isn't it? Yeah. So if we're tracking the person, so there's been something up there, probably towed again or something. You start to get that concept of what we call negative information is still useful in terms of there's nothing, you can pretend nothing really significant has happened to you. Notice what we were saying yesterday, that the pose of all the other animals, it's the most dominant feature. We've got on a Western raised human, it's heel first. A barefoot human or someone who's gone up without shoes on still has that same propensity to lean forward, so there's more forefoot involvement in the stepping. Whereas at the moment we're all walking very heel down. As far as the animals looked at, they're all the four marks and the four forefoot. Most common.
Yeah, that's what I paid to look up. Because I was looking down and looked up and there's tent lights on me.
We'll talk about that a little bit in terms of how much time is going up and down, how much time is going up. One foot to get down in there. So that gives you this leaning of the spoil on this side. As opposed to a wallaby, which is much more like a rabbit that tends to dig with both feet. So you get that much more even drag out of material. And just the size, so you can picture well, what size animal am I looking at to get down in there. And you can see it goes quite far in. Yeah, it's right down to the length of my little finger there. So, long-nosed bandicoot. Okay. And just more digging and scratching there. So this is what we call feeding sign. So it gives you a very succinct indication of what species are involved. Right. So, and the last time someone threw again here, it was going this way. Yeah, this is coming this way. So that's what an animal run looks like. They're highways, they use them to get around the bush all over the place. We always think that wild animals always sit down there just doing this. It's not the case. They've got very, very established behaviour patterns, and they very, very rarely deviate from them.